Oh, look at here. Got some burn piles going. It's a little smoky, but man, I knew when these piles started burning it would open up in here. It's so nice.
Oh, yeah, be a lot more grass growing next year.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey everybody, welcome back. We are in the kitchen today, and as promised from our last video, I'm going to be showing you how I pickle these cherry tomatoes. I said fermenting, but it is indeed pickling. I went back and watched Kevin from Living Traditions Homestead. It's his recipe, so I'll leave a link down below to his video so you can see what he does. So I'm going to be doing a little bit different than what he does in his, because I think he likes a little bit of hot peppers and I don't like hot peppers. So anyway, so what we need for this, our ingredients are going to be pure apple cider vinegar, some garlic, the cherry tomatoes that we picked the other day, sea salt, and I'm going to be adding some peppercorn, some black peppercorns in there. So I've got the cherry tomatoes are soaking in water right now just to wash off any dirt or debris or dust or whatever, so that we start with good clean tomatoes. So let's get started. All right, so to start with, I'm just going to drain my tomatoes over here in the sink, and I've got them already sorted out by how many is going to fit in this jar. So I'm going to just do one jar at a time so you guys can see. All right. Okay. So to start with, I'm going to take a toothpick and I'm going to just poke a hole into the top of the tomatoes, kind of all the way in there like that, so that the brine can then penetrate all the way into the tomato. So I'm going to start with putting 2 of these. These are artisan blush, and they're so good and so sweet. So I'm going to put 2 in the bottom. All right, and then I'm just going to alternate the sizes of these cherry tomatoes, because you see I got all sizes from big to little. So I'm just going to keep putting them in there, and I'm going to get about halfway up, and then I'm going to put my other artisan blush tomatoes in there. And you could poke holes all throughout the skin if you wanted to. I don't want to do that. I don't want them, because they're going to soften as they sit in there in the brine in the refrigerator. And I don't want them to be too terribly mushy. So, and these are good, y'all, for a lot of things. Like you can use them in salads, or just as a side dish, or just to snack on. They're really good, and they will last in your refrigerator 3 months or longer. I think most consensus say 3 months, but you know, it's like pickles. I mean, my goodness, when you do pickles, they'll last. I've had pickles last a year in the refrigerator. You know, when things aren't bad, or when things go bad that are pickled. So, but it depends on how much you eat them. So, anyway, so let me get the rest of my. We'll get all of these tomatoes in there, and then we will start on the brine. Sorry, y'all, I forgot my garlic. So let me get the garlic in there too. I want to get the garlic in there before I pour the brine in. So I'm just gonna. If y'all don't have one of these little garlic peelers, these things are awesome. I saw this also on Living Traditions. So you just roll it around in there, and it peels the garlic for you. So I'm just going to probably put 3 or 4 cloves of garlic into each jar. I like a lot of garlic. I'm just doing whole cloves, and these are small ones. Maggie doesn't like the sound of this thing, so I'll try to get them down in there as far as I can get them. Might actually dump that around a little bit so I can get that garlic down in there a little bit better. So there, see how pretty that looks? And I'm probably gonna do a teaspoon of the black peppercorns, or probably a quarter teaspoon in each jar. Yeah, probably just pour some in there. There we go. And you could add any spices that that you would like into this. Just kind of like pickles, whatever your flavor preference is. All right, so that is my jar. And so what's going to be important is to make sure that all of the tomatoes stay under the brine. So let's get our brine made and get this little project finished up. All right, so let me get hang on. All right, so our brine is going to be a vinegar to water, 1-to-1 vinegar to water ratio. So I'm only doing 2 quarts. So I believe a quart is 4 cups of water. So I'm gonna need 8, I'm probably only gonna need like 6 cups of water. So I'm gonna do 2 cups of vinegar and 2 cups of water, which will give me 4 cups of liquid, and then I can add some more. I may do just a little bit over that, so I'm gonna try to get 6 cups of brine. All right, so we're gonna go with, that's probably 2 1/4 cups, so let's go with that. Well, it's a 2-cup measuring cup, but I'm gonna fill it a little bit over that, kind of all the way. All right, so that is 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, and then I'm gonna go get 2 cups of water, and I use, we have well water, so I don't have to worry about using my tap, but if you do not have good clean water, i.e. city water, you might want to use filtered water. So we are gonna add, and then we're gonna bring this to a boil, and I'm gonna add the salt. And we're not going to boil it too much. We just want to heat it up enough that it melts or it dissolves the salt. And so I'm going to be putting 2, I believe it is, I'm sorry y'all, got something. So it's going to be 1 tablespoon of salt for every 2 cups of liquid. So I've got roughly 4.5 cups of liquid. And this is coarse sea salt, so the recipe is 1 tablespoon for every 2 cups of liquid. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons because I've got a little over 4 cups of liquid. And then I'm just going to bring that up to a boil or heat it up enough for it to dissolve the salt. So, and then we will pour that over our tomatoes. All right, it is just starting to simmer, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. The salt has dissolved, and I'm going to say that it's ready. So I'm going to pour it into my my glass measuring cup there, and just going to get about 2 cups and see if that fills up our jar. So let's take this over, being very, very careful because it's hot. We're gonna set that down. I'm gonna set you all down, and let's pour this in over the jars. And I did go ahead and stuck some of my dried basil in there that I dried a couple weeks ago. So what we're gonna do is pour the brine over the tomatoes and all the things. And so we're gonna bring it up just to about the neck of the jar there. And what you want to do is make sure that all of the tomatoes are stay underneath the brine. And so it looks like they are. And then we're just going to cap that off. We're going to let it cool off, and then we'll stick it in the refrigerator. But look how pretty it looks. And that's gonna just like refrigerator pickles, in about 2 or 3 weeks they'll be pickled, but you could eat them right now just because if you like tomatoes. So I'm gonna get a lid for those, and And so I'm just going to put my leak-proof ball lid on there. And then I'm going to let those sit and cool off. And then I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. So I just want to see how pretty that looks. And if you wanted to, you could kind of swish the things around so that all the peppercorns and all the garlic and everything gets evenly distributed in there. So, and then like I said, just once you do that, you want to make sure that all of the tomatoes are underneath the brine. And and you could even, if you wanted to, if you have it, you can put a fermenting weight on there. All right, so I think that looks good, y'all. All right, so jar number 1 is done. So let me get on to jar number 2, and this little project will be over. So hey, thanks for tagging along with me as we pickle up some of these tomatoes so that we'll be eating fresh tomatoes all winter. So I hope you guys will give this a try, and then we will be on to the next thing. All right, everybody, there you have it. I have 2 quarts of pickled cherry tomatoes and the artisan blush tomatoes in there too, with garlic and black peppercorns and some basil. So I hope you'll give this a try if you like tomatoes. The pickled, I think it takes a little bit of the pungentness out of the fermented vegetables, but I like them, so I hope you'll give it a try. Oh, look at here. Got some burn piles going. It's a little smoky, but man, I knew when these piles started burning it would open up in here. It's so nice.
Yeah, be a lot more grass growing next year.
Oh my goodness. everybody. As always, thanks for hanging out with us this week. We appreciate you being here. And if you're new here and haven't subscribed to our channel, we hope that you will consider subscribing and following us along on our journey. We would love to have you. Hey, next week's coming up, Thanksgiving week, and we hope that everybody has a safe and blessed holiday, and we will see y'all next week. Good night, chickens.